Picture this. You're sitting in the exam hall. The clock is literally ticking down. You've just flipped the page to a massive scenario-based question on selection constructs. You need to design an algorithm using an if statement with an else clause. Your heart rate spikes. The deadline pressure is on. Are you unknowingly throwing away crucial, easy exam marks right at this very moment? You read the story, you try to deliver the headline answer, but under that ticking timer, the structure just completely falls apart. Look, it happens to thousands of students every single year. But today, we're going to fix that entirely. We're going to break down the examiner's story and deliver the exact headline they are looking for. Let's talk about two completely different, but honestly equally flawed approaches that Cambridge examiners see all the time. First, we've got Alex. Alex has memorized the entire textbook, so when faced with an if-else question, Alex just overloads the page with raw computer science facts. Boolean logic, syntax rules, you name it, but gives absolutely no analysis of the specific problem. It's just a massive fact dump. Then we have Sam. Now, Sam understands the code, but totally rushes through the command word requirements. Sam writes out the if statement, but completely misses the boundary conditions and those tricky edge cases. Both of these students, yeah, they're going to see their hard work covered in harsh red pen marks. Why? Because they simply aren't answering the question the examiner actually asked. Well, welcome to this masterclass explainer on Cambridge Computer Science Exam Mastery. I am absolutely thrilled to be your strategist today. We are going to transform those flawed, rushed exam answers from harsh red marks into beautiful, confident green check marks. Whether you're taking syllabus codes 0417, 0478, 0983, 0984, 2210, or especially the 9618 A-level, we are building a foolproof system for handling any if-else construct they throw at you. Think of this as your newsroom strategy for exam day. You have a deadline, you have a brief, and you need to execute flawlessly. Okay, here's our exact roadmap to those top grades. We'll cover core principles, the method mark strategy, top examiner warnings, evaluation skills, and finally, the final blueprint. And hey, before we dive into these core principles, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Ace the Exams, at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon right now. Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, Core Principles. What do examiners actually want? When Cambridge examiners look at your if-else structures, they're not just looking for a simple if x is greater than y. No way. The academic benchmarks require logical, structured reasoning. The assessment framework explicitly prioritizes analytical depth over superficial breadth. This means Alex's strategy of just dumping raw facts, it's always going to fail. So, what are they actually grading you on? They're targeting 3 specific cognitive domains: knowledge and understanding, application, and analysis. To hit all 3, top students utilize what we call the PEAL framework. That's point, evidence, explanation, and link. For an if-else question, your point is a logical condition you're testing. Your evidence is the specific data from the scenario. Your explanation details the exact control flow, what happens if it's true, and crucially, what happens in the else clause if it's false. And the link ties it all back to the original problem. If you look at an exam answer and can't spot that PEAL structure, you're literally leaving marks on the table. Think about your last coding answer. Did it follow PEAL? The key here is conceptual understanding. It's all about demonstrating connected, logical reasoning that you can transfer to unfamiliar contexts. Memorization is just not enough. Top-performing candidates connect precise definitions across different syllabus areas, like how does your if-else statement interact with a 1D array? How does the Boolean logic relate to data validation rules? When you show the examiner that your code isn't just floating in a vacuum, your mark potential shoots up dramatically. Moving to Section 2, the method mark strategy. This is the procedural framework where you can actually rack up points just for showing your analytical process. Have you ever written code that didn't perfectly compile in your head, but you still needed points for the logic? Method marks are awarded for the journey, the algorithmic thinking, and the step-by-step breakdown of the problem. You don't just get graded on the final answer. So, you've got to master this deconstruct, solve, evaluate method. Step 1, identify the given information. Step 2, break the problem into logical steps. Decide exactly where your if and else branches go. Step 3, solve systematically. Step 4, check for reasonableness. Like if your if statement calculates a discount, does the final price actually make sense? Step 5, make justified recommendations. When you lay your answer out in this structured, PEAL-aligned format, the examiner clearly sees your logic and awards points at every single step, even if you make a minor error down the line. This strict timeline perfectly illustrates the time management matrix you need under deadline pressure. Minute 1. extract relevant data, and decode the command word. Minute 3, select your analytical framework. Are you using nested IFs or a standard IF/else? Minute 6, execute with clear notation. Minute 9, present the final solution with precise terminology. This pacing guarantees you don't end up like Sam, rushing and missing key elements. Now for Section 3, Top Examiner Warnings. This is pure gold. These insights come directly from Cambridge Principal Examiner reports. Every single year, they see the exact same errors repeated. If you just avoid these traps, you're automatically in the top tier. Oh, actually, before I reveal these traps, stop scrolling. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, AC Exams, at acexams_IGCS to excel in your Cambridge examinations. We've helped thousands of students improve by 2 to 3 grade boundaries. Join them right now by subscribing to at acexams_IGCS and turn on all notifications so you never miss our weekly exam strategy sessions. All right, let's get back to the workshop. Here are the top 3 fatal errors. First, confusing cause and effect. That's flipping your conditional logic, executing the true block when you meant false. Second, forgetting boundary conditions in edge cases. If the question says greater than or equal to 50, and you just write if score greater than 50, you miss the edge case of exactly 50, and boom, you lose the mark. Third, providing generic answers lacking context. This is Alex's fatal flaw, writing a beautiful if-else statement that has absolutely nothing to do with the specific variables provided in the scenario. I want to stress this quote from the Examiner Alert heavily. The classic mistake is providing generic answers, not specific to the question context. Always link every point to the given scenario. A perfectly coded algorithm still scores 0 if it ignores the unique parameters of the story. If you're validating a password length, your IF statement can't use variables like X and Y. It must use password length. Context shows application, which is a core cognitive domain. Let's do a quick speed writing mental check here. Transform a flawed response into a winning answer using a blueprint fix. Instead of a generic answer, link your points directly to the context. Instead of missing edge cases, test your boundary conditions with the rule of 3. Test a value just below the boundary, exactly on the boundary, and just above. If your IF statement survives, your logic is solid. Shifting from a red mark to a green check mark is literally just applying these methodological fixes. Section 4, Higher Order Evaluation. Look, when you're pushing for an A or an A-star, you aren't just writing code anymore. You are evaluating algorithms. Higher order assessment objectives demand that you evaluate alternatives and make justified recommendations. If the examiner asks why an if-else construct is better or worse than a case statement for a specific scenario, you need a highly structured response. To do that, you must move beyond just spotting similarities and differences. You need evidence-based conclusions. Use comparative connectives. Words like whereas, conversely, or in contrast tell the examiner you're actively evaluating. For example, a nested IF statement allows for complex Boolean conditions, whereas a case statement provides cleaner readability for discrete values. Support each comparison with evidence from the code. That's how you unlock maximum marks. Section 5, the final blueprint. It is time to consolidate everything. We're bringing together the method mark strategy, the PEL framework, the examiner warnings, and the time management matrix. This is your ultimate cheat sheet to reach 100% mark potential. Memorize this system so when the deadline pressure hits, you don't panic. You just deliver the headline. Here's the success blueprint. Step 1. Decompose the problem step by step using command word decoding. Step 2. Select the appropriate data structure and apply the PEL framework. Step 3. Implement the code efficiently, completely avoiding the generic answer trap by using scenario-specific context. Step 4. Test thoroughly using your time management matrix. Now listen, students who implement these computer science strategies see an average improvement of 2 grade boundaries, but only if they practice consistently with our weekly explainer sessions. So the next time you open a past paper and the clock starts ticking, which student will you be? Will you be Alex falling into the generic answer trap? Will you be Sam rushing past the boundary conditions? Or will you apply the method mark strategy to confidently conquer your exam? Here's your final reminder, subscribe to our YouTube channel Ace the Exams at acetheexams_IGCSE to excel in your Cambridge examinations. Subscribe right now to at acetheexams_IGCSE and click that bell. Don't let another exam pass you by. Also, drop a comment below with your target grade for computer science and the biggest challenge you're facing. Our team responds to every comment. Like and share this with a study partner. Ace the Exams, your Cambridge success starts here.